Okay, on this next audio, we're going to talk about the commercial package policy. And like many of the other property and casualty policies, this policy has evolved into a package over time, and the different policies, programs that are available to be included in the package include commercial liability, commercial property, commercial crime, inland marine coverages. The boiler and machinery coverages are now available in the package, as well as the farm or ranch owners coverage, which all of these programs were previously available as independent policies, but for convenience of writing these coverages in a more efficient way, they've been included in the 6 coverage parts that make up the commercial package policy. Now, even though these 6 coverage parts are available, you may still purchase, one section or one part by itself. And so when we purchase only one part, that's referred to as a monoline policy or a single part. And then a multi-line policy would be, descriptive of anyone purchasing more than, one part. So 2, 3, 4, 5, or even all 6 parts could be required coverage by some particularly larger customers. And certainly those that operate some kind of a farming or ranching operation to involve that fairly unique part of insuring a farm or ranch. Generally, they call them farms if they're crop or animal farms, and more in the West, they're referred to as ranches. Now, if we have a package, for instance, that contains up to 6 coverage parts, you're in effect just including all of the pertinent details, endorsements, conditions that relate to each section. You're containing those endorsements within each part. So the policy does function like any other package. Each part can operate independent, and the coverages are particular to each part. There are, however, common endorsements that will apply to the entire package, because when you issue a package, you're issuing a business contract with one contract, with one client, and you need to have the infrastructure or the contractual terms that govern over the whole contract. For instance, we don't cancel a coverage part, we cancel the whole policy. Now, the insured can make changes to one coverage part, but if the insurance company wants to non-renew or cancel, then they have to deal with the whole contract. And that's why these interline endorsements are applicable to each coverage part, because they are generally overriding the individual sections. When you issue interline endorsements, they apply to all sections, because you're dealing with one policy number, and one really you could almost think of it as one relationship with the insurance company. Now, a couple of the requirements of the package. When you write a policy that includes more than one insured, and a lot of big companies, you do have multiple named insureds, because they operate subsidiaries and they may have partnerships, limited partnerships that they're operating, and they want to insure all of those entities under the one contract. In that case, then we want to list the first named insured as the party who is going to have control over the insurance relationship. So when we say control, this is the party that is going to be listed first on the policy. They're the ones that are going to receive copies of all paperwork, and no one else will. They're the ones that are going to be in control of the policy and to make the changes to the policy. And they're also the ones responsible to pay the premium. And we are going to list them first, then any other entities that need to be covered would be listed, following the first named insured. But the authority, power, and control, and the responsibility to submit to audits and so forth would be the responsibility of the first named insured. Another condition that we have is that the insurance company has the right but not the obligation to perform inspections on the premises of the insured and to make recommendations about changes that should be made to the premises for the purposes of making the premises safer for the public and or employees, and to make the premises safer as regards potential for losses in general. And if the insured does not agree with these changes, then this could create a bad relationship with the company. They might go so far as to cancel the policy. So this is one of the duties that is spelled out, and the right of the company to make those inspections. And another duty that the insured has is they must be prepared to respond to an audit. The company's insured's books have the prospect of being audited when the policy is written on the basis of premium receipts or some other auditable financial number. And the insurance company has stated in the policy that the insured will respond to audits up to 3 years from the date the policy ends. So if your policy ended this year, then for the next 3-year period, the company would have to come out and make perform an audit to determine whether the premium for that year was accurately handled, and if it was not, then to make the adjustments in payroll receipts, etc., so that the premium adjustments could be made. Now, this next section, we're going to talk about the commercial liability, and then we'll go in and talk about commercial property, crime, and inland marine.